Imagine that you just sold your business for a life-changing amount of money, or maybe you cashed out a real estate deal that's been appreciating for a decade. You see that beautiful number hit your bank account, and then it hits you. That feeling at the pit of your stomach, because you know that monster 6 or 7 figure tax bill is coming for it. But what if I told you that there was a way to tell the IRS not yet? What if you could take your biggest wins from stocks, real estate, selling a company, and not just delay paying the capital gains tax, but in the right situation, make the tax on all your future profits vanish legally? This isn't some shady offshore account, it's the government program written into the tax code by Congress designed to reward investors for building communities. My name is Anna, and I'm about to show you how the wealthy use a tool called Opportunity Zones to get massive, massive tax breaks. So, what is this powerful strategy? It's called the Opportunity Zone Program, born from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. The goal was simple: get money off Wall Street and onto Main Street. The government identified thousands of economically distressed communities and rolled out a red carpet, created a massive incentives for private investors like yourself to bring them back to life. But you can't just buy a building in one of those zones and call it a day. There's a price of admission, and the whole strategy hinges on something called a Qualified Opportunity Fund, or QOF. Think of it as a special investment vehicle, a partnership with a corporation built specifically to channel money into Opportunity Zone projects. So when you sell an asset and score a capital gain, you have a choice. You can pay the tax, or you can roll that profit into a QOF. By doing that, you're essentially telling the IRS, well, hang on, instead of writing your check, I'm putting this capital to work revitalizing communities. And in return for that, the IRS gives you two game-changing rewards. This is where it gets fun. Understanding these two benefits is the key to the entire playbook. So number one, defer. When you invest an eligible capital gain into a QOF, you don't have to pay tax on that gain tax right away. Instead, that tax payment is just pushed off. And under the current law, its deferred gain is recognized on December 31st, 2026. Let's be clear. This isn't forgiveness, it's just a delay. But it's an incredibly powerful one. It means you get to invest the entire pre-tax profit, letting it compound and grow for years when it would otherwise be sitting in the government bank account. So for anyone staring down at a massive gain, this is a huge advantage. And now you may have heard about another perks like 10% or 15% reduction on your original tax bill. And for many early investors, that was true. But to get these benefits, you had to invest years ago. And for anyone investing today, those specific step-up benefits on the original gain are off the table because the deadlines have passed. But that's not the grand prize anyway. Let's go to number two, the holy grail of the Opportunity Zone program. This is the part that can literally erase future taxes if you hold your investment in the Qualified Opportunity Fund for at least 10 years. Then you can elect to have the basis of that investment stepped up to its fair market value on the day you sell it. Let that sink in. And all profit you make from the QOF investment itself, all the growth, all the appreciation can be 100% free from federal capital gains tax. This is the most powerful part of the deal. While the deferral helps you with the tax on the original gain, this benefit is all about the new wealth that you're building. It allows your money to grow for a decade or more, and when you finally cash out, all of that new profit is yours to keep, completely free from federal capital tax. This is how you transform a huge tax problem into a tax-free wealth building machine. Let's run the numbers so you can see the power, just the power and beauty of this play. So imagine you sell a company and now you have $1 million bucks capital gain. At a 25% combined tax rate, you'd normally write a check for $250,000 in taxes right away, leaving you with $750 to reinvest. But instead, you play it smart and you use the Opportunity Zone program. So first, take the entire $1 million gain and you roll it into the Qualified Opportunity Fund within a 180-day window. That 250 tax bill, it's on hold. So now you have the full $1 million working for you inside that QOF, not just the 750 that you would have left with otherwise. It's now compounding and generating returns for you. Eventually, the tax on the original gain comes due, and you have to recognize the deferral to $1 million bucks gain on December 31st, 2026, and pay the 250 tax bill. But look at what just happened in the meantime. You hold that QOF investment for 10 years, and it performs well, growing from $1 million to $2.5 million. You just made a new profit of $1.5 million. And because you held it for over 10 years, when you sell, that entire $1.5 million in new growth is potentially 100% free from any federal capital gains tax. You pay absolutely zero. Without this strategy, you would have paid taxes on the initial $1 million gain tax, and then you would have paid taxes again on the new $1.5 million profit. But with the Opportunity Zone strategy, you deferred the initial tax and completely eliminated the federal tax on all the future growth. That's the difference between paying defense and playing offense with the tax code. I know this is a lot and the details are critical. So if you have a major capital gain tax coming up, contact a CPA and discuss the strategy with them. This is the insanely powerful tool, but it's the IRS playground, so you have to play by the rules. So I'm gonna quickly name the top rules to make you familiar. Rule number 1 is a 100-day clock. This is the killer. From the date you realize your capital gain tax, you have 180 days to get it into QOF. If you miss the window, you are absolutely out. And for most states, the clock starts on the date of the sale. However, if your gain comes from a pass-through entity like a partnership or an S corporation, you might get a different start dates, like the end of the entity's tax year. This is one of those details where professional advice is critical. Rule number 2, eligible gains only. This strategy is for capital gains. That means profits from selling assets like stocks, real estate, or business. It doesn't work on your salary or ordinary income. And it has to be the gain portion, not ordinary income from things like depreciation or recapture. And rule number 3, use a qualified opportunity fund. You can't just buy a building in a zone yourself. The investment must be made through a QOF, and it has to hold at least 90% of its asset in a qualified opportunity zone property and follow strict compliance rules. Rule number 4, long-term play. The deferral is immediate, yes, but the real prize, the tax-free growth, only happens if you hold the investment for at least 10 years. This isn't a get-rich-quick flip. This is a commitment, and you have to be really ready for the illiquidity for a decade-long investment. So the program we've discussed has a fixed end date for the deferral period in 2026. However, there's been a lot of talk in Washington about extending and improving it. The bipartisan legislation like the Opportunity Zone Transparency Extension and Improvement Act has been proposed. So ideas include extending the deferral period to 2028, adding more transparency through new reporting requirements, and creating special incentives for rural investments. It is critical to know that as of right now, there are just proposals. So let's land the plane. The Opportunity Zone program is one of the most powerful tax incentives we've seen in generation. But it's not free lunch. It's a complex strategy that rewards patient, disciplined investors. It offers 2 main benefits for new investors: a deferral of your capital gains tax payment, letting your pre-tax money grow, and 2, eliminate 100% of federal capital gains tax on the new profit that your investment make after a 10-year hold. By redirecting your capital to build communities that need it, you get a rare chance to grow your wealth and do some good for the same time. If this has been helpful, so click subscribe. Thank you very much for watching and hope to see you on the next episode.